Good afternoon. Once again, this is Joe Dixon. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale, and it has been an amazing day because the ladies that I am surrounded by are, and again, I see it's a bunch of Delta, so it's the whoop whoop. That right? My sister, AKA, she would hate me for doing that. Right. But I mean, these ladies are fire chiefs. They have for years have been, even though they're so young, they have certainly led in the profession, and we are proud to have them give us a few minutes to just talk to you. And we have a few questions that they've agreed to answer. So the first one is for Chief Holt. Mm-hmm. Chief Holt, how are you, and how will you support diversity and inclusion in the fire service?
Okay, well, just being new to the department as far as the commissioner, it has been my goal throughout my career to support diversity and inclusion, from being the president of African American Firefighters League until where I sit right now in this position. One of the platforms that I did for my resume was talking about diversity and inclusion, because Chicago is definitely behind. We're a proud 60% white. So that would happen. The only way we can change that is bring in people through our entrance, and that's at the beginning. If I can bring them in and give more frequent promotional exams, then that will help our diversity greatly. But in the position I have now, as far as my command staff, I've already started my diversity and inclusion right now. So it didn't have to wait for us to have an exam. That was my first initiative, and there are more to come.
And might we see you on Chicago Fire?
Hey, who knows?
Possibly. All right. Chief McDaniel. Innovation seemed to be your calling card. So innovation, tell us about innovation in your organization and why it's important to you.
It's important because that's how we want to market ourselves and get ourselves out to the community. One of the things is 2021, and right now you have 7 women in the United States, African American women, that are firefighters or fire chiefs. And so still to have people come up and say, hey, firefighter, I've never seen a woman firefighter. We've got to get ourselves out there, reaching out to those young girls in high school and elementary school, opening up our doors and letting them see the ins and outs of becoming a firefighter and where it can lead to firefighter all the way up to fire chiefs. So innovation is very important, looking at new ways to do old things and just staying on top of technology, and sometimes just tweaking just a little bit. That's the innovation.
Thank you so much. Chief Washington, Decatur is unique in that the top 3 positions are all female. Did you feel pressure in making those selections when you're like, okay, I gotta send this one in? Did you tell us about that?
No, absolutely not. No pressure at all. I really, until recently, realized we were unique. I had a test. I leveled the playing field, and the right people rose to the top. I felt no pressure at all. My goal was to diversify the department, but there was never a plan to have an all-female command staff.
So and this is a follow-up, because I know that I'm light-skinned, but I'm a black man. Mm-hmm. And I know that there are a lot of times when you're selected, the first question, how does it feel to be the black female fire chief? How does it feel to be the black fire chief? But you're telling these people that the top candidates were female candidates.
The top candidates
outstanding.
were female candidates.
Outstanding. And that's what if we have the opportunity, we won't not only go in the door, we'll kick the door down.
That's
outstanding.
Right. Yes.
Chief Harris, the latest NFPA numbers suggest 8% female representation in the fire service, and we know less than half of that are African American. How can we improve these numbers?
I think going back to diversity and inclusion, getting out there, letting the young ladies know that they can do this. Any male-dominated field that they would like to get into, don't limit yourself. Put yourself out there, make connections with different people. And also in the school system, getting into the school system, because a lot of the school system, a lot of the kids, they're not even aware that they could actually be a firefighter, a fire chief, and all those positions. So just getting the information out there to them and minister to them and bringing them in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Chief Green, as the chief of the largest combination fire department in the U.S., rumor has it, I don't know if everybody knows this, that there has not been a promotional process that you've been in where you were not number one. You want to confirm, deny that first of all? That quick question?
That is correct.
That is correct. Wow. So that said that there's something that's driving you. So when you're driven to excellence like that, tell someone that's looking, again, what that means to be, I'm always to be number one, to rise to the top, like Chief Washington says, undisputably. And also, how do you see your drive inspiring others?
Okay, so that was again a loaded question, but I think it's good and relevant. I would say at the heart of what I do is service. So when I came into the fire service, because of my desire to serve. And service is not just operationally dealing with the community, it's also service with our department. So that's a twofold for me. So then when we talk about promotional processes and being at the top, it's important for us because we don't have a lot of room for error. So for me, being at the top, that drive of studying and committing myself to being at the top ensures that, one, I represent women in the fire service to the highest level of excellence I can. And then continuing that is also important so that they can see that you can go past one rank. It's not a fluke. This is a thing. We are actually good at our jobs. We actually commit, we study, and we get to the top because we've worked hard to be there. So that's kind of the drive there.
Outstanding, thank you. Chief Tripp, as the newest member of this exclusive but growing sorority,
Absolutely.
what benefits do you see in having, looking around at these women, these distinguished women, stellar careers, and being able to call them because there's nothing new under the sun?
Honestly, this is a true blessing because I didn't even know these women exist. Okay, I knew we had Black women in the fire service, but not to this level. And being introduced to a lot of different organizations throughout the last 6 months, 7 months, and networking with other individuals to know that I have some sisters that I can count on that can actually give me some support, through their experience. So in case if I run into any kind of difficulties or hardships or situations that I'm not familiar with, they've already been there, they've already experienced it. So by networking and coming here, which I'm truly grateful and blessed to be able to come here because of course we had a couple of hiccups, you just don't know how blessed I am right about now to know that I have some sisters I can reach out to.
Outstanding. Well, I can tell you, thank you on behalf of our chair, Chief Harris. I'm certainly proud to be surrounded and to look across at such lovely but such capable leaders within the all hazards response profession. So thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the very best. God bless, and take care of yourself until next time.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you, ladies.